What is going on, everybody? Anthony here, 6 Scale Mafia. We had what is it today? Sunday, man. It's an unusual day. It is what is May 30th, the last, or April 30th, my bad. The last day of the month, my friends, and we are going to talk some Return of the Jedi tonight. So appreciate you guys tuning in on this special evening. We have my man Aries. How are you, my friend, in the house?
I'm great, baby. I've got something right here from the cantina. I always got spotchka. It's already, this kicks off May 4th week. I was pumped. You were going live. I said, let's go, baby.
Hell yeah. I was just like, you know what? May the 4th is Thursday. This is the last day of April. We figured we can riff on it a little bit and just, what do we think? You know, we've talked about some things, you and I know you and your show, my show, P-Rock as well, my dude, right? It's that time. It's the time of the season, right, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I'm excited. I actually watched, I started watching that, I think yesterday. I was trying to get my son into it. So he likes lightsaber stuff.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, shit.
He's into Rebels. I've been starting to watch Rebels, and he's been watching it with me, so.
Oh,
like, hey,
okay.
Maybe it's time to do the live action stuff. So slowly.
Gotta get him into it. Get him into it, dude. Well, did you end up watching the whole thing or what?
No, we didn't finish. I mean, I was watching, like, I fast forward some parts, just the parts I want to remember, but we didn't finish the whole thing.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. It was good. Good.
Give him time. He'll probably be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I would think. Yeah. I mean, but then again, maybe we're biased because like that's what we grew up with, right? So it's kind of like, how could anything?
He likes it to the point where we went to Walmart. He picked out like a little lightsaber over there, so that's a hint.
Oh, okay.
He's only 2 years old, so that's a hint.
Yeah, well, yeah, a couple more years he'll probably be all into it, especially since you're into it. It'd be like, oh, this is cool. What is all this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the greatest thing ever made. No, you know what I'm saying.
You said a small intro. I was like, that was a cool ass intro.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, usually the intro's like my intro's like 5 or 6 minutes. I just made like a shorter one, is what I meant. In that regard,
that quick 6-second one from last time.
Oh no, it wasn't. No,
I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that. I was like, I gotta get ready.
Oh hell yeah!
I was like, oh, okay.
No, a little bit better. Lewis the Bits though, that's awesome. Seen 40th today at AMC. First movie experience in '83. I was 6.
Yeah.
Begged my parents to be Darth Vader. I'm sorry, Aries, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people going to check that out. I've been so busy. We were talking offline. I would have loved to go to the local Cinemark and go see the Return of the Jedi. This weekend's been crazy. It's been crazy, but a lot of people have been taking advantage of seeing the 40th anniversary in the theaters in honor of that. Isn't that awesome?
Dude, I know. I think Leo went last night. So he couldn't come on last night. So that's why I was like, well, another reason we can do it today, because I think Leo will probably come in a little bit too. We can just riff, because I know a lot of people this weekend went. I haven't had a chance yet, but it's going for a while, right?
I remember. I think it's going for, I'm not sure how long, but I remember back in '83.
More than a month.
I hope more than a month.
I hope more, yeah. I'm not sure.
But I remember back in '83, and there was a theater inside the mall where I lived. And when you went into the theater inside the mall, and it was a huge mall, it had like a Macy's at the time. It had a store called Bam Burgers, if anybody remembered that, one of the anchor stores. It was older back then. All the way through the mall corridors, outside the theater, all the way through the mall corridors, outside the mall, through the side building of the mall, all the way around Macy's and around there. It was like insane, the line to get in to go see Return of the Jedi. I'll never forget it because it felt like marching. Like the doors to get inside the mall seemed like you needed freaking binoculars to see what was going on in there. Forget about getting inside the mall.
Right.
But eventually we got in, and gosh, I think we were there like, I don't know, 3 hours early. Yeah. Wow. I mean, we were waiting a long time. So
see, for me, I ended up not seeing it originally because I was still pretty young, but I remember Not that they're not bad. There's good and bad, I think, for both. But I remember when they redid them as the special editions. Was that like 97? I think.
Yeah.
Because it was before the Phantom Menace, and that was 99.
I saw them live when they first came out. I don't remember if I saw them.
I saw those when they redid them. I don't remember what year it was though.
Yeah, so I remember going to go see the special editions. I did see all 3 of those in the theater.
Oh, what are they playing right now? Like today? Are they doing the special editions or the original?
I think they're doing special. I don't.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong, but those in the chat who went and saw it, let us know. I'm almost positive it's special edition. I don't think they would. You know what I mean? It's almost like they feel like this is the update, the patch of you, if you will, with the movies, and it's like that's it now, and it's like.
Did you guys hear that they're going to redo the original trilogy? That there's rumors. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I haven't heard about it.
I hope not.
We riffed on that a few weeks ago. Like, do they reboot Star Wars, or we were just having a little topic of discussion with Mario, but. Are they really thinking about doing that, you think, or what?
It's a rumor. I haven't heard them do it. I can't imagine with them bringing Boba Fett and Mark Hamill and a lot of the, OT characters in right now that they would do it anytime soon. But I heard a rumor that a long time plan, like sometime after the 50th anniversary, maybe in 10 years or whatnot, that they were thinking about just remaking it. Just redoing the original trilogy.
There's so much lore that they can do, man. I don't know why they have to go back. They can just do something new or continue.
I agree.
Yeah, me too. But it could also be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying that you don't look. It's different because Eric and I were talking about before with like the Star Trek reboot movies, but those are completely different, right? Because they're deliberately and intentionally an alternate universe. And not necessarily a retelling because it was a television series, right? Yeah. Versus we're just kind of going to reboot it in a movie form and kind of make our own stories and whatnot. So with the original trilogy, though, it's kind of like, how would you know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to follow the same story? It's going to open up, and then you're going to pan over to a new guy who's Luke Skywalker, and then, like beat for beat, like that would be. I don't see
how they could. I think it would be lame. Remember Glenn A. Larson's Battlestar Galactica from '78?
Yes.
So they were redoing it, and a lot of us were concerned, including me. But then when Ronald D. Moore did the reimagined Battlestar, it was kind of taking that story, like you guys are suggesting, but different spin on it. It was almost like a different alternate universe, and it turned out to be really good.
I love Battlestar.
And it worked. So if they did something like that, maybe it would work. Where you leave the OT alone, maybe do a different take on it, because it worked for BG really well.
Oh my God, it was amazing. But I remember that too because there was flack at the time, and I'm sure because that's how I know. That's how I know 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗧𝗢𝗡. Like she's Starbuck to me. Like before anything else, Bo-Katan, nothing. Right? She's Starbuck. But I remember at the time, people, even Dirk Benedict, who was the original Starbuck, he was also facing the A-Team. He was totally against it. Mm-hmm. I remember that. He was like, "What the hell? Why is Starbuck a girl?" Yep. But she was awesome. Like that whole show. But that's to credit to Ronald Moore, though. I mean, he's a great writer. He came in, on Next Generation, and like, oh yeah, I love Battlestar. I have like. Somewhere back there, my Blu-ray set, I've got almost the entire cast. They autographed all my my big box. I love it.
You want the show or the movies?
The show. They had a couple TV movies, for Battlestar.
Yeah, they did.
But
Yeah. They had that Razor.
Yeah, Razor and Blood and Chrome.
It's funny. OG Fad said in your chat, BSG did work because Ronald Moore was a big fan, and made his bones on Star Trek, The Next Generation. That's a good point. Unlike Rian Johnson, who I feel like didn't make something work for Star Wars. So maybe they need someone like Ronald Moore to do.
Or Terry Matalas. You have to watch Picard season 3.
Yes, I heard so many good things about it, dude.
You do.
And
You
from
have
you,
to.
obviously, too.
Yes. Yes. No. No, Miles. I thought I maybe you were gone last night when I addressed that. No, this is no Ghost Rider. This is Cloud from Final Fantasy VII with his bike. I caught your question last night. I don't know if you were there when I addressed it, but yeah, no, I don't have a Ghost Rider currently. No, I thought about getting the statue, that 6 scale one, which was pretty cool, but no, I never did. Bob Dylan says, noob question, does 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗧𝗢𝗡 take off her armor at any point? Well, yeah, she doesn't wear any armor. She'll have a flight suit here and there.
Yeah, she'll have like the flight suit and yeah.
But she's mostly in a tank top.
Yeah.
Or in her flight gear. Right?
Her story arc in there was amazing, dude.
Dude,
Dude, it was great. That show was great.
The only thing that pissed me off is like there was the point where there was the writer strike going on, and there was a huge delay between like half of season 3 and then like half of season 4, and then it was like 4.0 is how they call the season, then 4.5, and you're like, dude, can we please have Battlestar? It's been like 2 years and I'm waiting for the last 10 episodes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it was such a good show. I loved it. A lot of people in the chat seem to have liked it too. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend watching it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Dude, it was so good. And it was during that time too. It was, it was the Bush era. It was kind of the whole like war on terror era, and a lot of shows kind of had a reflection of that. Star Trek Enterprise kind of had similar undertones of that nature, and we had 24 with Jack Bauer, and then Battlestar. They all kind of felt, you know what I'm saying, Arius? Like there was how a lot of what we do anyway in pop culture like often reflects kind of what's going on and current events and things like that. But it was awesome. It was awesome, dude, guys.
A lot of people actually think, a lot of critics anyway, they suggest that 24, you mentioned that, and also Battlestar, those are two television shows that actually changed television at that time to what we see television today. And I kind of agree with that in their assessment. I mean, 24 was unprecedented in what they did on that show. I mean, you want to talk about heart pounding from the opening bell to the end. The following takes place between blah blah blah.
Yes,
and it's like a nonstop ride. And I think with Battlestar, the you want to talk about character development and getting invested in characters. Holy crap! I mean, it was deep. It was very deep, dude.
The whole Pegasus arc was awesome too, and like,
oh god, yeah.
I know, guys, we're gonna talk about Star Wars, but
I'm fine.
But I'm telling you, go watch Battlestar if you guys haven't seen it. I was talking about this the other day with my roommates. It's been fucking 20 years. It's 20 years, dude. 20 years. Like, what the? I thought Battlestar like just came out. Not the 78.
You're talking about Battlestar.
Yeah, 20 years.
They're doing Lord of the Rings.
Really, the new one? Really?
Yeah, really. The mini series was like 2002, 2003.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my youngest daughter just turned 23 last week, so I don't know where the time goes.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I can't believe that. Wow, it seems like this yesterday that freaking series was on.
It really did. I really thought so, and I remember that. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked, I'm like, 20 years already?
Well, 40 years for Return of the Jedi, dude. 40 years.
Oh, dude. 40 years. I mean, how many people have been alive for 40 years, I wonder. I know you and I have. A few in the chat, but like, that's a long time too. That's almost half a century.
Yeah. I can't believe they're going to be doing 50 years of Star Wars here in 2027.
I know.
2027.
I know. 2027. Battlestar streaming on Peacock, including the miniseries.
Yep.
Okay, that is badass. Brother Cousins, my man in the house, could not make it this evening, but what is up? Shout out to Jay.
Hey, what's up, brother?
My man.
Jay.
Look, you know, and I heard about that. J. Michael Straczynski's working on the reimagined Babylon 5. And the weird thing about it was going to be on the CW. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. Yeah. But then I don't know if it's in some kind of like limbo right now. I hope so, because I'm all about Babylon 5.
Dude, speaking of Peacock, one of the reasons that Battlestar is on Peacock, here we go, going back to Battlestar, they're investing millions like Amazon did on that Lord of the Rings show, which I heard is not coming back. But they're investing millions in another reimagined Battlestar. And I was almost like, what the frack with that? But they're taking it like Ronald D. Moore's like kind of way, but going into like they're taking a different take than he took.
Yeah, they're gonna do yet another iteration, spin. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how you can top Ronald Moore's.
I'm worried about it a little bit. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. I'll watch it too. Of course. AJ, my man, as well. Yeah, dude. Stargate, dude. Love Stargate. That was 97. Yeah. Stargate was originally
what's the main character in Babylon 5? I don't remember that one.
Well, it's not really a main character, but I mean, you did have Sinclair, the captain for the first season, and then he bailed, and then you had Sheridan, who was like the man of the galaxy. And there's so many characters though in Babylon 5. It's really a revolving ensemble of multiple story arcs and characters that are all going through their own situations, and I love it, man. I love it. Chasen also in the house, dude. What is going on, my man? Let's see. We got Blackbird says, saw Return of the Jedi today at the theater. Hard to believe it is the 40th anniversary. I know. 1983, guys. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I guess for, you know, all things, we're all sci-fi nerds here. We love everything sci-fi. So, but yeah, I mean, May 4th.
Warhammer on Amazon.
Oh, well, that might be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. God, you guys are distracting me with all this great stuff, man. Farscape was, I fucking love Farscape. I loved it. They had their movie too, the Peacekeeper Wars. All this good stuff, man. Can you imagine if Hot Toys made Stargate figures? I would love that.
Oh, jeez.
I would love that. Anyway, so, but yeah, I mean, what do you think, man? Do you think, am I being pessimistic where I feel like we're not going to really get much? Because that's kind of how I'm feeling. I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer.
No.
But because they didn't give a shit for 40th Empire. So I'm like, I don't know. We got Vader. We got 3PO.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that may be it for May 4th. Because here's the thing.
No,
you're right. We didn't get anything for 40th Empire Strikes Back, really, compared to what they did with Attack of the Clones. So, but they didn't give us a whole lot for that. Now you can make an argument that it's because they first started, that vintage, color look and anniversary stuff. Okay. But if you go back to 2021, Anthony, what did they give us? They gave us Echo, a blurg, another blurg with Quill, a blurg with a Mando we already had, and a freaking Stormtrooper commander,
right? Yeah.
And it sucked because Sideshow gave us Grievous, and everybody was talking about Grievous. Every batter, including mine, had Grievous, and no one was talking about the Hot Toys. The only thing they would say about the Hot Toys was, "Oh yeah, the Echo's cool. Oh yeah, Echo's cool. Oh yeah, he's okay." But then they went right to Grievous, and no one's even talking about the blurg, and no one cared about the blurg. No one cared about the same Mando getting reissued on that blurg. So if they've done that before, so you bring up a good question. I mean, can you be pessimistic about it? Sure, they turned it around last year, but who's to say they wouldn't go back to the year before and be like, yeah, here's Paley, here's Grogu inside the IG-11, and they could, I'm just saying they've done it before, so I don't think it's wrong. Now, do I think marketing wise, compared to the reaction they got last year and 2021, they'd have to be a little bit out of the loop if they didn't catch on that they got a much stronger response last year. But I don't know. I'm not in their marketing department. That's the reality.
the way here's my thing, and it's not like I'm trying to look at the glass half empty. You know, it's that you mentioned 2021 was pretty lackluster, and I agree. Those were just run-of-the-mill Mando releases, really. I mean, it was nothing really special. There's no special. There's nothing. You know what I mean? It could have been just an average Tuesday, but then this year or whatever, this 2022, fucking time flies, man. 2022, we got 5. Whatchamacallit, Attack of the Clones for the 20th, right? And then they got a wave 2. So we got 9 announcements for Attack of the Clones. And my situation in my brain is that I'm like, we're kind of the old guys. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The old guard is not maybe as popular as the young blood that enjoy the prequels and the Clone Wars and Rebels, right? So Hot Toys looks at their sales numbers. Every business does. So I think they want to push that because this newer I'd say younger than us. Okay, so this next gen is more in tune to those properties, right? They sell way more, man. So it's kind of like, I don't know. And on top of the fact that they've coupled their announcement a few months ago saying, hey, we're doing a 20th Clone Wars anniversary too. So I can't help but think like maybe we won't get a ton of Jedi, you know? And I hope I'm wrong, but
I hope so too.
I hope you're wrong too. But the thing is you do bring up a good point. They've done it before. And honestly, you know, I thought of a scenario, guys, where we don't get any Jedi or any 20th, and it is just all Mando. I hope they don't do that again. I really hope they don't do that again. But they did do it in 2021. I mean, now...
But that was also during like that Mando kind of hype train going on too, right?
It was, and I think they were taken aback. Like, how come Grievous is doing more than Mando with these? Well, first of all, they gave us a Mando that we already had. And everyone was kind of like with the blurg, it was like, I don't know. It just, for some reason, it wasn't like a tauntaun. It wasn't like a freaking bantha P-Rock. It wasn't like that kind of. People were just like, I don't know. It just didn't go over well.
No,
I like it.
No. Then that's also true, dude. We did have the coof going on in 2021, and you know, but and also to that extent as well. I mean, there wasn't an anniversary either, to my knowledge, right? Because I mean, we had because 80 and 83, and I don't think there was any other prequels that would have. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and then they got Mando running. You know, and it's bringing in a lot of people, you know, back to watching Star Wars again.
Yeah.
So I get them as a business. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's roll. We'll just put out some Mando shit, and there you go. But I was a little disappointed with Empire, to be honest, right? I mean, we had 2 reissues basically, which was, you know, Vader and Fett in just the packaging.
It was a little really disappointing when you talk about Fett. Because I keep forgetting, we got like 2 Fets the same reissue. We got like two reissues. Because that vintage color Fet's enough. It was like, you're kidding me. You're giving us a reissue. And then another one. Because that's what that vintage color one was.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. The vintage is the exact same. I'm obviously in the colors, right? I mean, so is animated. Yeah. Like, they're all the same model, just 3 different paint apps.
Yeah. I think the animated one, I could be wrong, though, goes after Return of the Jedi model, which I think's a little different in the head.
It could be, actually. I never picked up the animated. I don't know if it's based off of the Jedi version.
Yeah, or the classic.
I think it's the Jedi version. But again, it's just we'll probably get that version, Anthony, for Return of the Jedi. Again. I would think, because they did it with Empire.
So wait, you guys are saying that you think that 2 is it, or you think we're gonna get more? Or you think 2 is it, that we're not getting no more for Return of the Jedi 40th?
Well, no, I think we'll probably get one or
more,
2
3
more
total. I think 4, at least 4.
3 or 4. But my concern is that they might do what we just talked about and give us like another reissue repackage, right?
They better give us damn
Well,
Ewoks,
no,
man.
and I actually think P-Rock, we're going to get a lot more than 4. What I'm trying to say is, Anthony, your pessimism is justified.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a downer,
very logical.
but
It's
right.
It could. I don't know which way it's going to go. Let me ask you guys this: let's say that they don't give us any Clone Wars, and they don't give us any Return of the Jedi on May 4th, and they give us Mando again, but they give us the N1.
No, I'm fine.
Does
I don't want
that count? Because every channel will be talking about that. It'll be a big deal. It'll be like, oh my God, they did it. They did it. What are we going to do? So they're kind of put all the emphasis on that. So P-Rock, does that count then as a big
For
bang?
me, no. For me, no, because that doesn't have anything to do with the 40th. That's like not even a year or 2 old. Like, that has nothing to do with the 40th. I mean, it is Star Wars based, but it hasn't been around for 40 years or 20 years. Nope. I need something to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but Aries is also right though. Like that would kind of pop, right? Like people would be like, "Oh, the N1."
Band-Aid.
It would be, but I get what you're saying though too, right? Is that it's not the 40th or even the 20th, for the Clone Wars. So I don't know, and honestly, I don't know how. Mando wasn't very well received season 3, right? I'm not saying it was hated by everybody, no, but it is the weakest season as far as ratings are concerned and reviews and stuff like that, right? So Hot Toys being a business is because we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything Mando. Is it falling the way of Andor, which I hope not. Andor is kind of a different slow burn, so I see why they may not have made figures for it. But I'm surprised we haven't seen any Mando stuff yet. But because we have these 2 anniversaries, I'm like, well, maybe they're just keeping it back so they can give us the anniversary stuff.
I hope
that
you're
makes
right.
Sense.
Because if they're saving it for May 4th, that would be the other reason.
Yeah.
That would be.
Give us something.
That could be. What is up, my man, Lael, in the house?
What's up, bro? A
How you
little
doing,
busy
buddy?
today. I'm kind of moving some stuff around, so I was like, let me just jump in when I can.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome, man.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on here.
You're rearranging some stuff.
Yeah. I had to do some rearrange. I'm still in the middle of it. I just took a break.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how I was. When I
will
moved
tell
all
you,
my shit,
P-Rock.
it was like 3 days.
You know that too.
I agree with you, P-Rock, because I want something 40th, I want something 20th, rather than like that N1. But I will tell you, the N1, in my view, marketing-wise, reception-wise, would be it would get a lot more attention than that blurg did. So I agree with you. It wouldn't satisfy me for the anniversary stuff, but the N1 would definitely. I think for it to be successful, it needs to be mixed in, like you said, with something from the Clone Wars, with something good from the. Maybe that's what they should do: is give us a couple from Return of the Jedi, a couple from Clone Wars, and then do a 5th one Mando. Then we'd be like, oh crap!
Sprinkle in some of the Mando or whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I guess that's the old saying that you can't please everybody then. Right? That's how I would almost feel. Because again, as I mentioned, that we had 9 Attack of the Clones for the 20th anniversary. So
most of them are the clone troopers too, so those are easy.
No, not really. You got a clone trooper, bro,
right.
and you got a clone pilot. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right? We got C-3PO, we got R2, we got Anakin, we got Padme, we got Mace Windu.
What would you guys do? What would you guys do?
Right
Because I've thought about this. If we got nothing from the ones we're talking about, I'll give you a case in point of how that could happen. We get no 20th Clone Wars, we get no Mandalorian, and we get no 40th. And you're like, Aries, okay.
You better give us some Ewoks.
What if they gave you none of that, but they gave you stuff they already teased? So what if all of a sudden you get the fourth sister and the 5th brother, and all of a sudden you get an Attack of the Clones? You're like, wait a minute, I thought they were done with that. you get the Obi-Wan to make that
Fisto.
10, and you get Kid Fisto, and you're
Why we
like, what?
happy with Kid Fisto?
Well, and P-Rock, you're like, what the frack? What just happened? Because now all of a sudden they're giving you stuff that, and it's stuff that they actually teased, but they give you that and they don't give you any of the other stuff. And the whole reason they do that, guys, is because they're like, well, we already told you that we're putting out 40th and 20th and Mando, but we also told you we were teasing these, so we're giving you these on this day. I mean, it could be a scenario, just saying.
Yeah, but at the same time, like they're making their intentions clearer to their customer base, right? By announcing that, by saying, "Hey, here's a 40th Return of the Jedi. Here's a 20th Clone Wars. Here's a John Wick 4. Here's Ant-Man, Quantum." Like they were putting out their IPs that are coming. So it's like, I don't know, man. What do you think, Leo? Man, we're wondering if you feel like they're gonna kind of follow the same suit as they did with 40th Empire and give us just a couple of figures and maybe a couple of Clone Wars and kind of call it a day, or do you think they're going to give as much care to Jedi as they did with Attack of the Clones?
I don't know. I mean, completely honest, bro. I don't know. I come into it really with zero, predictions, because it's sort of like a wait and see. So if I don't set myself up to his level of expectation, then I'm not disappointed. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of being pleasantly surprised. Now, considering the simple fact that they've already gave us the, Scout Trooper Commander, we're going to get a 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓. It's just a matter of when that's actually going to happen. I'm not really sure as of when. I would say that we would actually get, a few things from Return of the Jedi. Maybe a few things from 20th anniversary. Now remember, it's not Attack of the Clones, it's Clone Wars. So you know what I mean, two totally different things. So you know what I mean, like I think that we could still get something within that wheelhouse. It's just a matter of waiting to see, because it's too hard to predict right now, bro. Like it's really because of their track record and what they've done. They can release a whole bunch of clones for all we know again. You know what I mean? They could do something like that for Return, again. And just think about it. For Return of the Jedi, bro, like they've given us a lot of these figures already. So it's just a matter of giving us something that we haven't seen. Now, the rumor is so far there's going to be a Chewie and Han 2-pack. Now, that's the rumor. You know what I mean? So...
Dude,
yeah, so we'll definitely see how that actually works. I think that we could get, I don't know, possibly another Luke. I don't see how they would actually slide that in. I'm not really sure, but it's a possibility that we can get another one of those.
Leo, if they gave us Han and Chewie, dude, they don't have to give us nothing else. Leo, you're right. Man.
That's, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it's with Hot Toys, it's just kind of, it's a safe spot not to speculate anything. You know what I mean? It's just like almost like a wait and see type of situation. And also keep this in mind, we still got, they're starting the week. Again, I've been saying this, like they're going to probably try to, empty out some of the things that are waiting. Cosca Reeves, for example, Fennec Shand, for example. Not saying it will, I'm just saying it's a high possibility that they could. Right. But the thing is, a few years back, just remember, like a few years ago, when it came to like the 40th anniversary, I'm sorry, May the 4th, there was at one point that we didn't get anything from Hot Toys. Yep. You know what I mean? Like there were no releases. Now this year, it just makes sense considering the simple fact that we have, the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So it would make the most sense for them to do so. You know what I mean? But it's just waiting to see, and the 20th anniversary of Clone Wars. But it's a matter of just kind of waiting. I'm hoping that we get a Leia. I mean, round it out and give us that Leia figure, because it would make sense. Not Hutt Slayer Leia, but Bausch, they can actually give us that figure, Boosh. But
breaking my heart, Leo. You're breaking my heart.
Nah, I'm serious, bro. Like we're talking about Disney here, bro, and Disney's real funny about putting stuff out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately,
and it is. They're kind of fickle about doing that. But if anything, like I said, they can round it out, and give us the the Bounty Hunter Leia. So it could happen. Like anything, they could give us Land. Hell, they might even. Here's the thing, bro. They can even give us a Jabba. You don't know. They could. They really damn well could give us a Jabba.
Man, they hinted it in the Vader.
They could do a 2.0 or just do a re-release on the Emperor and just put like a 40th anniversary package, this packaging on it. So
yeah, because see, that's what I was thinking. Like, are they going to give us 1 or 2 repackaged stuff that we already have?
Boba.
I don't know, bro. They
Yoda,
could.
No, they don't need another Boba. There's another. No, hopefully not.
They did it with. Going back to Anthony's original point, being pessimistic. They did it with Empire. That not only did they give us the same Boba again, they gave it to us twice with the vintage color in the same damn packaging. So they could. I would hope it's different. But they could do that with Boba so easy. They could do that with the freaking R2 because they just did it with 3PO there. They could do that with Yoda because we have Yoda already from ESB. So it's essentially the same Yoda. I don't know. I know, Troopers, right? You mentioned that before, Anthony. A Trooper's coming for sure.
Yeah, we have to probably get another Trooper. I mean,
Royal Guard. How hard is that?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, guys. Like, we have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we already have 9 Return of the Jedi figures.
It's close. It's around there. I think that was in your quiz you did a month ago.
Yeah. So there's Boba Fett. There's Hoth Leia. Hoth Endor Leia. There's the Endor Luke, deluxe. There's Wicket. That's 4. There's the Stormtroopers, 5. Royal Guard and Palpatine. That's 7. What am I missing here?
The Trooper and Speeder.
Yes, the Scout Trooper Speeder bike. That's 8. I swear there's one more. Either way, 8 or 9 figures already in Return of the Jedi. So I don't know. Trooper. Yeah.
Maybe
Scout
they'll shock us and we'll get a
Death Star Gunner was New Hope. Sorry. Go ahead. What you're saying? Maybe they'll shock us and.
Yeah, we'll get a Gamorrean guard. We'll get Admiral Akbar. Cool. We'll get Admiral Piet. We'll be like, whoa. You talk about things that we never got before.
Yeah, give us more Ewok.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Hoth's Hometown Hero, though, with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Says, assuming there are no more delays, they have to release 2.8 figures a week. There are 23 remaining for Q2. Yeah, but that won't be the case because they never release 2 to 3 a week consecutively. Like that hasn't happened ever. Only because and I get it when you look at the numbers, but it's like they just delay shit. They constantly delay. I mean, we all that Leo, Aries. I know. I mean, so much stuff. We were like, yo, it's 2021.
Well, is
it's almost here. We need like 19 more figures, and they're like, nah, we'll just give you 1, and then we'll push all these back, and it sucks, man.
But you know what? Though. And even with that said, though, bro, like I learned not to really fault them because they're up against a whole Disney is forcing their hands, bro. Like it's a whole like when you have these Disney Plus shows, you have the cinematic universe as well. Like it's a lot of stuff that they actually have to, especially going into production, especially what they're dealing with over there in China. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like I really, really do get it. As much as we want stuff, in the scheme of things, the bigger picture is just letting us know, like, yo, there are things that they're up against right now in Disney because they have the license for it. You already know Disney is forcing their hands for merchandising, bro. They are. For those purposes,
oh gosh,
they want them to get that stuff out there as much as they can, get it out there. You have the licensing for it, do it. So I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel sorry for them. But at the same time, I'm like, if you know this is what you're up against, I would just say for every figure, until you are sure you have a release date, TBA, to be announced. That's it.
Yeah, that's really all we can, because the thing is like you were just saying there, it's that, I've been saying this shit forever, man. Same thing. It's that Disney's just really got them strapped. I mean, we talk about knowing that right around the corner is an Ahsoka show. There's an Acolyte show, and this is just Star Wars. We're not even talking about Marvel. right, which is still under the Disney umbrella. There's all this stuff coming in entertainment that now Hot Toys is obviously obligated or beholden to produce something from said IPs. So they're already you know what I'm saying? They're like, fuck. You know what I mean? It never ends. It never, you know, from a company standpoint, they're like, okay, we got a new show. We need a minimum of 3 figures, you know, per whatever their contract, you know, whatever it is, right? So, which is not a complaint, but I see Lael's point. Like they're constantly having to put out shit like nonstop, and you know,
and that is a good point. No, it is a very good point, and maybe another reason why, you know, besides the economy and the market and the way that they've got to change to make money because of lack of volume, lack of juice that used to be squeezed, why they got to keep putting out different versions of the Mandalorian, why they got to keep putting out different versions of Boba Fett, why they keep putting out different versions of Iron Man and Spider-Man and this and that, because they are getting pressure from Disney. So they keep putting out, they're like, hey, what are you going to put out for the Mando season 3? Well, they already got a mold of the Mando, put it out. Shoot, they already had, prototypes of those figures for the N1 from the Book of Boba Fett. They can label it that. Like, oh, we got pressure, we got to put out another Ahsoka. They got a face sculpt of Rosario Dawson, so.
And that's a great point. Like all of those, as you mentioned, are already tooled, so they can just remold and make some slight variations to it, and be like, "Here we go." It doesn't cost us that much money, but it also fulfills our, you know,
obligations to Disney,
right? Of X amount of whatever there is, and I don't know. No, you know, we don't know the specifics of the contracts, but that's the point, right? They can still put these things out to make them happy. Be like, yeah, we're cranking out some new merchandise, you know.
But how do they make us happy is the thing. And I guess different versions, like I guess, you know, like a lot of people are happy with the R2 from Attack of the Clones, but it is the R2 from the original trilogy, and probably the R2, Anthony, we're going to get, and fellas, from, if we get one for Return of the Jedi, which I really think we are, it's going to be the same mold again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, still is the Attack of the Clones. The Attack of the Clones is the same one as the R2 Deluxe. The only difference is a couple of different accessories and different coloring. But it's the mold is the same. All the magnetic attachments are the same. Like they're the same. So for Hot Toys, that's easy money right there. They don't have to put much into development for that figure, and they have a whole new SKU ready to go.
Yep.
You know, which you know isn't to say, oh, it's just a copy. Because it's clearly, but that's Disney. That's the marketing masters, right? That is Attack of the Clones R2.
Well, so, I'll be honest with you guys. What would make me happy for the Return of the Jedi, for instance, let's get new stuff. Let's see something like a Cad Bane. Let's get Nien Nunb. Let's get that figure. Let's go ahead and get Admiral Akbar, please. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's get something like Admiral Piet, who was pretty prominent in Empire Strikes Back and certainly in the Return of the Jedi. That would be great to get some of these new characters, like you mentioned. We've got 9 or so already from Return of the Jedi. Get some of these new characters in would be great. Same thing with Clone Wars. Let's get a Ventress. Let's get Maul's brother.
The only thing that they're looking at, though, because when you think about it, like when you had mentioned like Admiral Piet, definitely a prominent character, but so was Lando in Empire, and look how that sold. You know what I mean? So they're looking at, okay, these one-off figures for right now, are they going to basically generate the revenue that we would want to get back? You know, right now it's like we don't, of course, like, you know, a lot of people, well, me myself, I know I love Boba, bro. I do. I love the Mandalorians in general. So if you give me some Mandos, I'm cool. But
I'm cool too.
You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But we do want, we want things that are, you know, a bit more, you know, unique and, you know, something different from the IP. It's just that they're looking at, it's always the popular choice, bro. And that's the only thing. It's just like, we have to rely on these third party companies to give us certain things, and no third party, only like the little known third party companies are actually even dipping their toe in Star Wars in general. Not too many people are. You know what I mean? So knowing that Sideshow and Hot Toys has the IP. You know what I mean? So it's a matter for them what's going to make them the most money. Unfortunately, that's what it is. So that's why I'm like, you know what? As far as any type of speculation, I'm just like, I threw that out the door, because I'm like, you just don't know, man. Like, you don't really know what they're going to do. And, again, it would be in their best interest to go out with a bang. You know what I mean? Just to go ahead and, go in on, May the 4th and do all this stuff. But, I was sitting back, like, it was crazy because last night we went to go see Return of the Jedi in the theaters. And I was sitting there just looking at everything, and I was like, yo, I mean, what, it would be dope for us to get, an 𝗕𝗦𝗠𝗘𝗢𝗡 9 you know what I mean? Hell, it would, you know what I mean? Like, give me, it would be dope to get like a 𝗕𝗦𝗢𝗡 or
Skip Lando.
Want that?
Yeah.
A fucking Rancor
yeah.
would be great.
Gamorrean guard. They have in Mando.
Gamorrean guard, yeah.
give me a 𝗦𝗔𝗩𝗘. You know what I mean? I would love to actually get a wedge. You know what I mean? I would definitely love to get that, but for them, it's always the popular choice. What figure is the most popular out of the line and what they can milk? So it wouldn't. To me, it would. A safe zone for them is definitely Luke. A safe zone for them, or I would say like the obvious choice and what I think would be a good choice if you gave us Han and Chewie. You know what I mean? I think that people would basically love that, as long as you don't give us the same interpretation that you actually gave us from the Force Awakens, because that he like a puppy. You know what I mean? So don't give us that.
He does.
Yeah, man, don't give us that. So give us something, a better mode and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like right now, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just see what they're going to do. I want to see what they're going to ramp up, because normally what they even do throughout the week is they'll give us teasers. Remember, they teased us with, when it came to Attack of the Clones, they teased us with both 3PO and R2. You know what I mean? So they teased us with those particular figures.
The silhouette. Remember?
The silhouette. We didn't get a tease of, Anakin and Padme until after the fact. You know what I mean? That was even after, celebration at that point. So,
but Lael, does the Vader and 3PO though serve as kind of like a tease, like, hey, more's coming? Because they didn't do that. I think it
does. I definitely think it does. But I also my thing is, if they are really, really celebrating the simple fact that they got the licensing for this VGM video game, they're going to go in on that, bro. Because they know that's really. So yes, I know we're going to get Cal Kestis.
They kind of hinted with the commercial with him training with Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
That's the actual actor. They kind of want to put his face out there. So that's kind of
bro. They definitely do that.
Oh, that's a huge. Yeah, I'm at 100% agreement with Lael on that. Like, when I saw the Scout Trooper Commander drop, my first reaction was like, "What the fuck is this?" Right, like so instant, right? But then my eyes focused on the photo, and I was like, "Meow." I'm like, "Oh, Jedi Survivor," and then my brain's like, "Oh shit, that's a VGM line." Yeah. Right. So that's when I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what they're doing. They're getting people excited, right? This is the new branded IP for Hot Toys."
You know what? We're also forgetting about the new comic line that they have. Just saying.
Oh, that's true, man. Look at the Revan, man. That's what I do. That's what everybody really wants.
Well, everybody wants Revan, but with the new KOTOR remake and postponed indefinitely, I don't know what's going on with that. And I don't think they would revisit the old original BioWare Knights of the Old Republic. It's too old, I think, for them, because they got to ride with hype. You see what I'm saying? That's why we didn't get a Cal Kestis then 3, 4, 5 years ago. Now it makes sense. Maybe they missed the boat. Well, they clearly missed the boat on that one. But now that there's a sequel, it is now relevant. It's like, hey, let's ride this. Just like, when they dropped all the stuff for Mando when Mando was, you know what I mean? It's relevant and current in pop culture right now. The game just came out, a couple days ago. What better time to announce this now and be like, here you go. Here's a Scout Trooper. We got a video game line. Cal Kestis is going to come. Hopefully he's got rolling eyes, USB lightsaber. That's what they're following with, right? So, and he should have a double-bladed lightsaber that can, detach and dual. Dude. Yeah, Cal's coming. I don't know if he'll be a May 4th. Does that steal the thunder from Return of the Jedi? I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, bro.
A Grievous for the 20th of the Clone Wars on May 4th to kind of go against that Grievous a couple years ago from Sideshow. Because, Lael has a good point, putting out these figures that got to sell. And then on top of that, figures that maybe they're not going to sell a whole lot of because they have very low numbers right now. But if you look at the vast majority of those figures, you're able to tell, oh, they're going to go ahead, though, and they're going to reuse that mold. Like like 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗎, they use for KX and Force Droid. IG-11, they're going to use that, obviously, again for IG-11 or whatever the heck they're calling him now. They're going to use it for IG-88 eventually. So when you come out with stuff like that, I mean, Akbar is a good choice because you could probably use him in a couple different movies besides Return of the Jedi right off the bat. So when you look at like characters like that, I feel like that it's like, hey, yeah, they can go ahead and do that if they can use the character again in something from another movie or something that Disney has that we don't know about that's going to come up in a show.
Well, I'll tell you guys, I'm playing Jedi Survivor right now, and there's K2 droids in there. There's white ones, there's black ones with a backpack. Like, again, as people mentioned in the chat, a lot of the video game stuff, they're like iterations. They're like kind of hit bashes of sorts of existing, troopers and droids and what have yous in the Star Wars universe. But that leads into exactly what you're saying, though. Like, we could get another K2 droid that's branded Jedi Survivor.
And you can get Grievous because, for Clone Wars, well, first of all, they're making these Clone Wars figures look like the real-life actors and stuff anyway. And then you get to reuse that mold again for the 20th anniversary of a movie called The Revenge of the Sith that's going to be coming soon. So they could be planning manufacturing a little bit on a calendar, on a progressive scale, really forward thinking. It's possible. I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying that it's been done before with other companies.
Oh, no. That's 100% possible because, the companies have to have a strategy. Like, none of us, just like Lael said, there's nothing there. Like, we don't know anything. I mean, they could just say, fuck it, and give us an Iron Man. Like, we, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know.
100 years of Disney. They did it.
I think they're going to give us, I think definitely we're going to get a Red Squadron, Red 5 P-Rock figure. It's going to come. It's definitely going to come with. You know what I mean? It's and on the side of the X-wing, it's going to say Dale. So yeah,
that would be that'd be a dopo, right?
Yeah.
Or Anthony, maybe on May 4th, they'll do the one thing.
Although into the Red Squadron,
I'm knocking shit over.
It's gonna be a P-Rock. You're gonna see the shades under the helmet. Like, it's just gonna be
dude. I want to say thanks to Ash real quick though, man, for gifting the channel members. I didn't see this pop up. I don't know what's going on with my stream, but thank you, dude, so much, dude. That would be hilarious, dude.
Hey, Anthony, maybe
Jar Jar, man. Imagine if they give us Jar Jar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they could do something.
That'd be
like
something
that.
that'll surprise the internet.
Right.
Too.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Aries?
Maybe they'll give you. And this is kind of funny, but it almost is gonna not be funny. But maybe they'll give you another. Maybe on May 4th, you get another Christian Bale Batman.
Come on.
Oh God, another.
They're dropping those left and right.
No, I could live the rest of my days without seeing another Christian Bale Batman.
But check it out though. For real. Don't forget. There's a couple things that we're forgetting too, because they just ended season 3 of Mando. There's those Praetorian guards. They're still basically that
Yeah.
armored, the armored version that we actually got a Moff Gideon.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They can even give us like a 2.0 Bo-Katan. You never know. They could do that.
And well, those
You
other
never
guys
know.
too. What are they called? Like Beskar troopers or what? You know, the white
like,
one. Like
it's the
I
jet
don't know.
troopers. It's the with the Beskar armor. Like there's those things that they can do as well. So when we say May the 4th isn't just covering the 40th anniversary of Return to the Jedi because been there, done that. We knew that was going to happen. But May the 4th covers the entire spectrum. So this is what they're looking at. You know what I mean? So that can happen, bro. It could. And a P-Rod.
and a P-Rod.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, you're probably right. Actually, you know, because it is that, right? May the 4th
Mhm.
is
It's
the
Star Wars.
unofficial Star Wars.
That's just Star Wars in general.
holiday.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's, again, there's so much that they can actually do. It's just a matter of waiting to see. Hell, they might even give us and I'm telling you, people probably they might even actually give us an IG-12 with Grogu in a chest because that's
Come on.
how far they're
Of
willing
course
to
they
go
will.
to
Of
milk
course
it.
They will.
They'll do it. I'm telling you, they'll
I
do
say
something like
yes.
that.
Man, that's
Look,
that's
yeah,
not
like,
fake, man.
they already- they're
Krang, man. They took Krang.
Dude,
Yeah,
they're
but Lael,
already
would you
there.
buy that, Lael? Would you buy that figure?
I probably would. I
I
don't
would
know.
too.
I don't know. I
I'd buy
don't
it.
know. If it depends on how. I don't know. It probably. Again, we just have to actually see.
You guys remember IG's chest is already removable.
Mhm.
You pull it out to put the batteries
Put
in.
the battery and stuff like that
Granted,
in
they'd
there,
have to
yeah.
make it a little wider. They'd have to cut the tooling a little bit different,
Yeah.
but that's not
You don't need
hard.
no more
We
Grogu,
could.
man. Get out of
We
here.
could just be all Mando on May 4th. The figures that you're all talking about, a Keller and Beck, which I would love,
Mm-hmm.
and they may just be like, boom, here's 5 Mando
Yeah.
figures. Boom,
Keller
boom,
and
boom,
Beck.
They
boom.
want to make money quick. Just give us like each Mando that was in the background. They can just pick random colors.
No, because that's more that to me.
People will buy them. I would buy
Ooh,
them.
if they
People
gave
will buy
us, I'm damn right. If they gave me a Keller and Beck, I would relish on that, because that would be dope. As a jet, I would take that. I definitely would.
Take it. I would too.
I'm not gonna lie. I would. I'm not gonna front. I would definitely take that.
No, but I feel like if they did
And a
every
P-Rod.
like the colored Mandos, it might feel a little too much like Black Series, right? Because a lot of them didn't even really have names on screen, right?
What, the Mandos?
Yeah, because they had a bunch of
The
them.
Mandos, yeah, it's a bunch of them. Like I don't know if they would do something like that. I mean, I think that your best bet is to just, to be quite honest, your best bet is to purchase some of the Death Watch, or even get the get you the what is it, the Mythos Boba Fett from Sideshow, and just mod them, paint them different colors. That's the closest thing
Yeah.
that you can.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That would
not a
probably
bad
be the
idea.
best bet.
You know,
But them
Shit, yeah.
actually releasing that, again, I mean, as much as we think they would, but would they sell? Because it's the simple fact that you already have the Death Watch that are still sitting there. You know what I mean? That haven't really sold yet. That even a re-release of that Mythos Fett is still sitting there. You can still get that. You know what I mean? So they have so much of those sitting there. Dipping into that well, they're going to go for most popular. The popular choice is just the main characters that were centered. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be hell. And the one thing that they could do is they could even do a re-release 2.0 version, which should smack people in the face, of Axe Wolves with a head sculpt. They could do it.
dude, I would love
they could
that.
do it, but I don't
I
think
would love it.
he's not as popular though as Mando.
He's not, but he was
They
he
gave
was
us Sasha,
again.
they gave
But
us
here's
He
the
was.
thing.
They could. They just
could
ne-
though. You're right. They could.
But that's what
They
I'm
really
saying.
could.
They could just. Here's the thing. He wasn't popular in season 2, but they still released that character without a
did.
head sculpt. You feel me? So now that they actually put him out in season 3 and he had a more prominent role, you never know what they'll do, bro. Like this is Hot Toys
money
and
right
Howard Chan we're talking about.
Oh no,
They
I
are
already
the
think
most.
they're giving
This
us.
is the
They're
most
gonna give us another
unpredictable
Bo
company.
Katan, right?
They might.
They're gonna.
They might.
I think
They
they
definitely might.
would.
Let me ask
No.
you fellas a question.
If they gave us a Mon Mothma based off of the simple fact that, okay, Mon Mothma now is currently popular in the Andor series, and they just give us the Return of the Jedi Mon Mothma, they could. I'm not saying that they will, but Hot Toys is so unpredictable. That's why we're having this show. We don't know what they're going to do.
Right. We don't.
You know,
Go
what
ahead,
if they throw a curveball? Because I have a feeling that something's going to be a curveball. But you see, I got Jin out. Maybe
I
I
know.
got Jin.
Did you take
Jin
it from
out.
Lael? Did he give it away finally?
No,
Hell no.
I'm
She's
kidding.
still sitting right there, bro. As pretty as a pickle. She
Pretty
ain't
as a
going nowhere.
But listen, why do I got
She
her
ain't
here?
going nowhere, bro. Hell no.
So,
Hell yeah.
so
That is a good question. Why do you have Jin out? Imperial
because no
disguise.
one's talking about it, of maybe the fact that on May 4th they decide to give us the first release or two from the Andor series, and give us a Cassian Andor, and then decide to give us a couple of figures from Rogue One that we haven't gotten yet, like a 𝗕𝗫𝗪𝗔𝗪 or something from there. And I'll tell you what, I don't think a whole lot of people would complain with a Rogue One or a couple of Rogue One, and how well received that movie was and is accepted in the in Star Wars. Wouldn't that be interesting? Because I think everyone would be like, "Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, that's cool." And then
If they gave us a 𝗕𝗫𝗪𝗔𝗪, if they finally gave us a 𝗕𝗫𝗪𝗔𝗪, I'd be like, yeah, that's dope.
That would irritate the shit out of me.
But I know why.
I know, right? Because I got rid of
Because
my
you got
Rogue
rid of
One
them.
stuff, and I was like, they're
I
never
still
gonna make a
can't believe he
𝗕𝗫𝗪𝗔𝗪.
did.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what though? Here's the thing.
It's cool though. It's cool.
It is cool. It is cool, man. You know, because I love Rogue One, but I love all this stuff, and it's not all just Star Wars. So I'm like, I don't have the space. I can't collect every single line of Star Wars because that's all I would collect. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I did for a long time, minus, little bits of stuff of here and there. And then it was just like, dude, I can't. But I would be kind of upset. I'd be like, God damn it, now there's a base. Because at the very least, I would like a base to go with 𝗔𝗘. I think that would be awesome. I think we all agree on that. But I don't know why they don't do it.
I got a question for you. I almost wonder if it's a gag. Because what would you do if they gave us a First Order snowtrooper? Because it's still on Sideshow. Now listen, why is that there as coming soon?
You mean the one with the Game of Thrones hood, like the cloak with the fur?
The First Order snowtrooper. It still says coming soon. Why is that still coming soon?
They just probably didn't take it down. I don't know if they're gonna do it.
Dude, it's been a long time not to take that down. They've
Well,
readjusted
I agree
that
with
every.
that.
That would be
Yeah.
like the word. Would that be that'd be? I don't know how that would go over on May 4th. It'd be a lot of great channel talk though.
Probably not well. People would be like, what the shit? Like, thanks, I guess, for finally taking something out of the graveyard. But no, I mean, no, they've been bringing a lot of stuff, out from the beyond the grave, and which I think is really cool. So nothing is off the table, right? Nothing is off the table, but that would still be a kick in the pants, right? Be like, what the hell? We don't need that right now. But you know what I am thinking? I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, so I don't know if there are snow troopers in Jedi Survivor or not. But if there are, they can at least drop those.
They're a crap ton of money in the second.
I know.
The BGM,
so it's like,
and the Empire one.
Yep.
Gotta be the first one.
Oh, dude, it's a fun game. Fallen Order.
I know I'm still playing it.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed that game a lot when it came out. It was fun, but this is a lot better. In my opinion, so far. Did you pick it up, Lael? Are you gonna pick it up? You gonna play that?
It's on its way.
Okay.
I ordered it the other day because I ordered it when I had time because I knew what I was going to do this weekend, so I haven't played it. But I ordered the other day, so it should be here either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not really sure. We'll see.
Is this one made for next gen? Is it like for PS5 and the new Xbox only?
Yeah, it's half and half. I was having some weird. I think the frame rate's kind of. I'm gonna have to try it again because I don't know if my game was still downloading when I was playing on the PS5, but I should have got it on my PC because I got a really strong computer. But I'm gonna try it again later tonight and see if the performance was better because it was kind of laggy. I was like, damn, the frame rate's a little.
No, there's rumors. There's bugs for the PC one. There is some bugs for the PC
well,
one,
the PS5 seemed the frame rate was kind of like bugging. PC port. Damn. Well, you know how games are nowadays. They half-ass release and then they update them with patches to fix it. So
more stable.
Yeah, but it's fun. I played for like an hour and a half. I think I got through the first beginning mission, which is kind of long, but it's cool, dude. It's a fun game, man.
Hey, Mafia.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You're pretty smart. I just want to know your thoughts.
Sure.
What is your gut telling you? May 3rd, May 4th. What do you think they're going to do if you had to call it yourself?
Oh gosh. See, we're live. This could be saved for later. No, I don't know. I mean, like, okay.
I have a couple scenarios, but
I think we're gonna get a reissue or 2.0 of something we already have from Jedi, and I think they're gonna announce 1 or 2 things from the Clone Wars 20th, and a 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓, and maybe something else in that. That'll be the 4th announcement, the May the 4th, and like five drops. Because it makes, like, the last 2 years we've had 5 drops. They weren't the best.
I agree with that.
2021 was kind of 2022 was good. It was all Attack of the Clones, but we've had 5 drops, consecutively for May the 4th. So it's a pretty good bet that we would get another 5 drops. But because we have a 20th and because we have a 40th and because, as Leo mentioned, we Mando season 3 also wrapped, right? We don't have anything from that yet either. And we got Jedi Survivor all like right now, all like Hot Toys is doing it. Clearly, we've got a Scout Trooper Commander. It's branded Jedi Survivor. They're making a VGM line for this game. May not go deep, but of course we're going to get a @𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓. You can't take an IP, license an IP and produce figures from said IP and not have the main character. You know what I mean? As a product. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Whether or not it's going to be, I'm sorry.
We'll definitely get a 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗓, but I'm gonna tell you how they can make me happy. Honestly, is just to go completely unorthodox and give me a Ventress from Clone Wars.
Oh, from Clone Wars, yeah.
And I'll be like, you know what? I love you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll tell you what. I think Ventress would be awesome. I do.
Yep.
But I also, as people said in the chat, I know you guys as well, especially, Aries, we talked about it as well, that another Han and Chewie, I think, needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to come off as entitled, but I'm saying when I say it needs to happen, I feel like it needs to happen for the benefit of the 6th scale collecting community.
Community.
Exactly. Right? Because as it stands
Agreed.
right now, there's a monopoly. Right, you have a Han Solo and Chewbacca from A New Hope, and that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? That's it's kind of like the dark side Anakin of sorts. Like if they gave us a dark side Obi-Wan version of Anakin, it's gonna balance things out. And,
too. That's
right, and that's what I'm saying. If they give us a Jedi Han and Chewie, it brings balance to the community, right? Because it's just anything in a secondary market. We all know here. It's like, let's lower that down. We have to balance things out because it's out of reach for so many people. Go ahead.
Well, and it would be new, and it wouldn't, like, if they give us a Han and Chewie, and they made it, Return of the Jedi, it wouldn't take away necessarily the value for the A New Hope one, but it would give those collectors, like you're saying, an opportunity to get that Han and Chewie, that monopoly, that thing. Same thing with the dark side Anakin. I don't believe for a second that they would mimic that exclusive exactly. They'll go ahead, probably give a rolling eyes function, or don't come with the base, or whatever they're going to do. So it would do that. That would be great. Honestly, the Emperor, which is shooting up like crazy.
Yeah.
And I hope it's different, though. It needs to be different. I would hope it's different.
She was shooting me.
But
yeah, we gotta get a P-Rock
though. Han and Chewie 2-pack would probably be 600.
I'm fine with that because I missed out on the first one. So
it's a worth it. It's a worth it thing, especially if it's from Jedi. It's OT. I would take that all day. Give us that. You know what I mean? Because again, he didn't have a jacket on. He had just mainly his vest and his Parker that he got, or that long jacket that he got with the camo from Return. So that would be dope. You already have the Leia. Definitely. It's you know what? No,
go ahead.
Go ahead,
bro.
No judgment here.
I'm gonna tell you how fucked up they could be, bro. Here's the thing. And people, you don't think I'm crazy when I say this, but I'm not. Just think about this though, for real. These fuckers could fuck around, bro, considering the simple fact that they have, and they just gave us that C-3PO mold, and give us the C-3PO on the floating throne or the floating wooden chair that he got with the Ewoks, bro.
You're saying another one.
They could do something like that. I'd be like, oh, you bastards, bro. Like, if they did something like that.
Well, they did that with Fett, with the 40th of VSB, with the vintage color.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can do these things. But, again, hey, they could even give us as much as we don't. They can give us that Boba Fett 2.0 with the Sarlacc pit. You know what I mean? They could do that. You know what I mean? You never know. So many things that they could do, man. It'd be crazy to see. And, I mean, of course, possibly we might get, another set. And here's the thing, because we don't necessarily have an R2 from.
See, that's what I was trying to get to, because have they released the R2, C3PO,
well,
and
not
R2
from
like solo?
They're
always together, right?
Yeah, but they haven't released one from Return of the Jedi yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And see, this is what I'm thinking. It's two things that they can do. They can either release an R2 from, the sail barge, just serving drinks, like, the same thing that Sideshow did, because I have that one. Yeah. Or they could actually give us an R2 with an Ewok with it as like just basically a pair. They could do something. That's what I'm saying. Like, they do not surprise me, bro. I would not be surprised to see what they would do, bro.
No, I mean, when we see like 19 fucking Mark Vs, I can't help but wonder that too, because the thing is though, for
and an Astro Mouse
and an Astro Mouse. Oh god, there we go. Now you know what?
I forgot all about that.
I didn't forget. I'll never forget.
No, you didn't forget.
No,
you remember.
No, so R2 Deluxe that we all have. I think we all have it. I'm not sure, but the R2 Deluxe is not. It's just branded Star Wars, bro. It's not A New Hope. It's not Empire. It's not Jedi, because he comes with all the stuff from all three movies. Yeah. So that's not to say that they wouldn't do it though, because I think we are getting an R2. Those pictures with 3PO show an R2 that I don't recognize. Mm-hmm. I don't recognize it. It's not the Attack of the Clones R2, and it's not R2 Deluxe. Mm-hmm. You can tell by the photos.
It's not. It has differences a little bit from the Attack of the Clones one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got like, I don't know if it's like a burnt blaster, effect or some dirt there, but the photo of that 3PO is a different R2.
But Lale brought up a good point about getting another 3PO on the chair. And I really didn't consider that, but it's a good point, Lale, because you just never know. But they actually did do that with the Boba Fett from 40th DSB, remember? I mean, they did. They gave us two of the same figure. One was painted different because it was vintage color. So
wouldn't be surprised.
It's real interesting. Wouldn't be surprised. The Emperor's one that people can use, though, Anthony, when you were talking about like to help, like a Han and Chewie. And the dark side Anakin from Obi-Wan. An Emperor that's different doesn't have to come with the throne. That would be, I mean, it goes for a lot of money.
Yeah. And Blackbird, that R2 has that. It's not really spring loaded, I don't think, but I've got the part where you have the lightsaber. It goes in the top of R2.
Dude, what about Leia? Now check this out, Leia. I think you'd like this. What about the Bush Leia disguise? Like, you have the helmet, you have her hair, but you get Han in carbonite, but in a mold that's like the throne from Boba Fett and the throne, like really high quality. And you get, now what would you think of that if they gave us that? Leia and Han in carbonite, but like a real, not like a cardboard.
I think something like that would be dope. I mean, it would definitely be dope. It would be interesting. It could happen. I wouldn't. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that it couldn't, because I think it could. Like, you could get that, bro, to be quite honest. And it would make sense. It definitely would. But I mean, I just want that layer anyway. You know what I mean? I just, because I think it was definitely pretty dope. You know what I mean? So I just want that version. But again, I think it's, I I don't want to put a lot of stock in Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why I say that is because it's kind of slim pickings already looking at what they've released.
Right. Like,
So unless it's going to be
2.0,
2.0, unless it's going to be 2.0s or just like the ones that, so it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky to see.
Yeah. I mean, the Vader was obvious because Vader was the only quarter. I tried to explain this before on my show, and I don't know how to say this in the right words, man, but Vader was the only 6-scale figure that had not been released out of Hot Toys' versions of quarter scale figures that they have produced. If that makes any sense to you guys out there, like every quarter scale that's on the market, there's a 6-scale version of it, except Vader, and now we've got it. So that's why I was like, we have to have it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so glad that we have that Vader. I'm so glad that we have that Vader. Now, one thing none of us have brought up, and there's 150 people in the chat, man. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to everybody here if you have not already. I'll put the links in the description below as soon as we're done here if you guys not, but I'm pretty sure you guys are. But subscribe to everybody here, my man. We haven't talked about the fact that we could possibly get a quarter scale.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a Jedi. We've never had one.
True. This is true.
Now, I don't really collect a lot of quarter scales.
I don't. I like I said, the one I had, I sold.
But what if they give us a quarter scale Jedi Luke?
Bro,
from
what if
Return of the Jedi?
Yo, even better though. What if they get if we're going quarter scale route, and this would be obvious too. If they gave us a quarter fucking scale P-Rock, but if they gave us a quarter scale P-Rock, it was on. I'm just saying, like, nah. But no. I mean, literally, they can give us a quarter scale Vader. They can give us a quarter scale Emperor. There's so many different things that they can actually do, but I don't know. I think that Vader, they might do it. They could definitely
the quarter
do
scale
that.
Vader's beautiful.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah, they could. And here's the thing. Another thing I'm thinking about too, bro. You might think I'm joking, but this is for Aries. So Aries, think about this, right? We just got an announcement. We just got a few announcements at Celebration. One of which is the Jedi Order, right? And we know that Daisy Ridley's coming back. Say what you will. A lot of people are upset about it, but I'm open. I'm optimistic. Say what you will, just depending on how it's written, But Aries, what if they say, Aries, we hear you, and we are giving you your dark side, Rey?
Oh man! If they do that,
in quarter scale,
not quarter scale, but I'm just saying, like, if they said that, if they did some shit like that, and a P-Rock, but if they did some shit like that, bro, wow. I mean, reason why I'm throwing this shit out here is because, bro, it's fucking Hot Toys. You never know what you're going to get with them, bro.
Well, here's the thing, Lale. Can you hear the whispers and the echoes in the wind about the 100-year anniversary of Disney? They marched Daisy up on stage just a few weeks ago. You were there, baby. So it actually makes some type of cohesive sense with the 40 with May 4th this year, that they could be like, hey, Disney's say it's a Hot Toys. Anthony, you brought this up earlier. Make another Daisy figure. And 100 years, they put her up on stage. They say, how about we do that dark side one? There's a lot of things in the pot, like the perfect storm that could kind of bear your right.
Well, no, they could.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's on the same.
Here's the thing, bro. It's just the simple fact that we are throwing these things out here, and we have to, because you don't know what the hell they are thinking. Now, Mario's safe because his ass was right. They're not going to release that N1. So I know he's dancing his ass off. But
that's
what's up, Mario?
Though, right?
I think Mario's at Disney right now.
I know. But
shout out to Mario,
I
my bro.
swear, if they pull the wool over our eyes and just say, "Bing, here's the M1," I would laugh my black ass off. I would laugh. I'm not saying they're gonna do it, but I'm just saying I would laugh if they did something like that, bro. That would be, I don't know who's in know, but we'll see what's coming. Anyway, man, I got to get out of here, bro, because I got to finish up before it gets late. And I know the missus upstairs like, will you hurry up, get your ass up? You know what I mean? So I got to hurry up and do whatever. But man, thanks for having me here, bro.
Of course, brother. Yeah.
You know, we'll see what's going to actually happen this week. And yeah, man, give us that P-Rock. Give us that P-Rock. So we'll see. We'll see, man. But yeah, thank you for being here, man. I mean, thank you for having me here, bro. And I'll talk.
Well, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? You're welcome for me being here. But
yeah,
no,
man, thank you.
no,
Yeah.
thank you for coming always. No, of course.
And yeah, Hot Toys. Before I go,
I'm gonna mute him.
give it to us. You already know. Astro Mouse 2023.
See, I knew it was coming. Nah. Hell yeah, man. Well, nah, dude. Well, yeah. Do what you got to do. No, it's funny, man. Core scale Alec Guinness. Yeah, dude, that would be dope. Core scale R2 and 3PO. That also.
You know, Anthony, that's a great point. I'm glad he brought up Alec Guinness, because I feel like at the end of Return of the Jedi, I'm just gonna say this. We all saw or many of us saw the movie Solo, and we saw a hologram of Darth Maul, not the actual person Darth Maul, but we saw Ray Park, and they gave us an actual person like you're seeing by Jedi or so here as a figure. So is it possible that they do that? Alec Guinness, as also seen in the Return of the Jedi, crap, here'd be a something stunner. They could give us Anakin Skywalker, but the original actor who portrayed Anakin Skywalker in the Force Ghost form from the end of Return of the Jedi as well, not from the original cut, not the new one with Hayden Christensen. They could do stuff like that, bro. They because they already did it with the Maul from Solo movie, and he didn't have any kind of like essence or hologram around him.
Well, you know, they do this all the time too, right? Like anything like you mentioned, that's just barely any on-screen moments is a potential figure. And we've had so many of those already occur. Right, as you mentioned, you know, Maul's one of them. Fucking lot of troopers were barely on screen. Boom, here's a figure. You know, and I know we all do it. I know we all do it out here. You know, we'll watch these Star Wars shows, and we see something. And don't tell me otherwise, because you'd be full of shit otherwise. That we've all watched the shows and been like, oh, that's a hot toy. Right, when I first saw Black Crescent, I'm like, oh fuck, there's a hot toy.
That's another one.
That you know, go on and so forth. So you know what I mean? It just our brains are kind of programmed that way in a sense. So when we see stuff, we're like, it's definitely possible. Doesn't always happen, but it happens a lot, right? What is up, Braden? My man in the house. The boss, the wizard, and the plant man. Hell yeah, dude. Yes. So I don't know, man. You know, hey, look, don't be surprised if Hot Toys gives us a Bosk. Maybe that would be kind of dope.
They could,
you know, Sideshow did theirs and it's decent, but Hot Toys needs to do something.
Maybe the rumor is the actual rumor is, because the Bosk actually makes me think of something that he said there. Maybe the rumor of a haunted Chewbacca coming is actually from Empire Strikes Back, and it's the Bespin Han. And we'd be like, what the heck? There's a 40th of ROTJ. I could literally see them like, okay, like, but why are you like doing it? Because honestly, Anthony and P-Rock, they finished the 40th of Empire Strikes Back, and they're like, oh, by the way, here's a DX25 Bespin Luke, even though that we're done with the 40th of Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. What if they did something wacko like that and we're scratching which would be great. Give me my Bespin Han. Give me a Chewbacca from there. But we'd be scratching our heads going, I thought we were going to get what they advertised at the beginning of the year.
As Leo mentioned, man, anything's fucking right. Anything is possible. Yeah, Braden, I know you probably just jumped in, bro, but yeah, we were talking about that. Like, that's 100% coming, dude. Don't quote me on that shit, but that's 100% coming. Like, 99.9%, 80% coming. I don't know. The Cal's coming. It has
coming.
to. Yeah, it has to. Now that they've got the Jedi Survivor IP brand, VGM, it's coming.
Almost as high of a percentage that it's coming as you could bank on another Mando and Boba Fett.
Exactly.
Are coming.
100, oh, dude. Yeah. You know, Cal's coming. That's gonna be so badass. So badass, guys. Let's try to get to 100 likes if we can. Right now we're at 80 likes, 150 in the chat. For the live anyway. If you're watching this on the replay, let's see if we can get a little higher. As everybody on the panel knows, the likes absolutely help. It's not just saying it to saying it. It really does help our channels out a bunch. So we appreciate it very much. I'm sorry, go ahead, Aries.
I will be honest with you. I have a few different scenarios I think where they could go. But one of those scenarios is it may actually be that N1. And I'm just saying that I know that there was problems, with the DeLorean and with stuff like that, but you did mention that Disney's breathing down their backs.
Oh, big time.
They did end season 3 with a beautiful DeLorean, if you will, and one starfighter parked at the side of his house. And we are going to need a Mando from the Mandalorian season 3. It just wouldn't shock me if that's the big shock. We haven't got a damn thing from it. And we didn't get it from Book of Boba Fett. Where's the Mando?
But do you guys actually think the N1 is going to sell? Like, if it does get announced, you think it's going to sell out? Because the space
very limited. Very limited. It'll be a limited amount, P-Rock, I think.
Yeah,
but what it'll do is it'll create buzz. Oh, they did it.
Yeah, because the problem is okay. Like if you were gonna ask me if this live stream took place 2 years ago, I would say no. I would say no, it would not sell out. But because things have been changing so much over the past year and a half, I would say yeah, it would sell out because they are doing different things. They are giving us lower. And make no mistake, it's not Hot Toys that's doing this. I want to be very clear on that, guys out there, that Hot Toys is not making lower batches. Sideshow is making lower purchase orders. Okay, because Sideshow
Hot Toys, if they ordered 100 million, they'll make it.
Yeah, because Sideshow carries everything. Everything licensed, from damn toys to statues to art prints to fucking vehicles to you name it. You know what I'm saying? Sideshow's just they're down right after the whole when the world ended and everybody had a bunch of money and things were rolling high. That's why that volume was there. It was so much volume. Now everybody's back to work. Money's tight. Economy sucks. Everything's coming down as far and Sideshow's not the only place, right? That's not the only place you can buy stuff from. Clearly, we all know that. But as the official U.S. distributor, that's why we talk about them, because that's who they are. They're top of the food chain. But they are completely lowering their order numbers. Therefore, if an N1 does come out, they're not getting a bunch of them.
No,
they're not getting a bunch of them. Bob Dylan makes a great point. They did to completely skip the Blitzway Ecto-1 Afterlife. Completely. They didn't want to have these huge ass boxes. There's no way. Which I thought was odd, right? Because they carried a few Blitzway products, large products, the Terminator arm, the original Ecto-1, obviously smaller stuff they carried as well, Bill and Ted, so on and so forth. But yeah, they didn't even grab that. So, but Aries, you're right, bro. And I wasn't really going to bring anything up on screen because it's great when we can just riff on stuff. But, let's not forget, as you pointed out, I mean, this was shown last year. And this is still coming soon. I'm not showing the N1, even though it's here. I'm talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu 6-scale figure set, branded the Book of Boba Fett. That just happens that they're fitting in the fucking N1. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I
just get this feeling that they're still gonna do it. But
no, I agree.
And I always felt, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that I feel like from Hot Toys perspective or even Sideshows, it would be very limited number. It may even be a limited number of the N1. It would be an experiment. It'd be more for, hey, Hot Toys, marketing, or look at us, or we're competing with this company or that company, and don't just put us in a little box. We're coming. It could be just for flexing a little bit. I mean, just saying.
It absolutely can be a flex. I mean, it can be a flex for sure. I'm trying to go through some of the chat. I just saw somebody, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗕𝗥, if I can catch your chat here, bro. Like, say, look, Boba Fett figure coming over 2 years after the show is madness. I agree. However, who was it? Was it Fennec Shan? One of these, they changed them. Remember, they changed the figure. They were originally going to be Mando or something, and they were Book of Boba Fett, or vice versa. I forget what it was. Where it's part of a different IP, but it's still there, right? It's still in there. So they could drop that Mando and Grogu and just scrap the whole Book of Boba Fett thing and just say it's season 3. Right?
That's what I think they would do.
Yeah. Or they could just not make it, but I don't see Hot Toys not making another Mando and Grogu. So, you know what I mean? That's going to be, So it's possible. It really is. I think, if an N1 does drop, it's not going to sell out like instantly, but it'll go. They're not going to have a whole bunch of them. And it's going to be a very niche product in an already niche market, right? Because 6 scale is not that big of a world. It's really not,
When do you think it starts? Like, do you think it's all May 4th? Okay, so May 4th is Thursday. So everything Wednesday at midnight or after. Or do you think that they could sprinkle stuff in? You think tomorrow, P-Rock?
Yeah, I think it's going to make a week out of it.
I could see that.
Especially Sideshow. Like, I'm not sure. Is Sideshow, do they have a schedule for anything right now for the May 4th?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they're live every day.
Did they put something out? I didn't know if I didn't see an announcement.
I heard.
So
For marketing purpose, that's money for them. They do make a week out of it. They're probably gonna drop the best announcements on the 4th, and then they sprinkle like a few things here and there before then.
Well, here's the
afterwards, because it is May 6th to Sith Day, right? Or May 5th. I'm sorry.
Revenge of the 5th. They did do something last year with that.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. It was that Wave 2 coming, that was another thing though, dude. They did. I feel like that we're probably going to get some teasers again, or some coming soon stuff.
Well, we kind of did.
Friday.
Kind of, and I'll elaborate on that in a second. But let me just say to 𝗕𝗕𝗠𝗘. See, the thing is, if Sideshow didn't carry the ecto-1, why would they carry the N1? Well, it's because the N1 is Hot Toys, and that's their main dude, right? That's the Blitzway is their side chick, So Hot Toys is like it's Hot Toys. So they're gonna, if Hot Toys actually announces and solicits the N1 Starfighter, you bet your ass Sideshow's gonna have it. They just will.
Sideshow will probably have like a timed pre-order window or something
or something. Well, it won't be an exclusive though, because they can't make an exclusive because it's too big of a piece. It's too, it's already a niche thing, like I said, right? But they will have it if they put it out. But they're not gonna they're not gonna get a shitload of them. You know what I mean? Because not many people are gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
We can all say, "Oh, that's badass. I'll get it," but not a lot of people will actually buy it. Sure, it's gonna sell, but I hope that makes sense.
Yeah,
I didn't pick up the Voltron either. Blitzway Voltron before the Ecto one.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and I know you opened it up like this, Anthony. Of, was it wrong to be pessimistic? I don't think so. I think it's good to be, because we already got. But I think we're going to get 5 drops at least. Is it going to be lame or is it going to be good? But I think that they learned last year. They did so many things different in 2022, fellas. It was uncanny. Not only did they give us a DX25 Bespin Luke out of nowhere, it was April 13th, but 3 weeks before May 4th. And we were like, there's nothing that's going to top that. May 4th is going to suck. and then they shocked the hell out of us with 5 drops from the same damn show. And then they came out with messaging the next day saying, by the way, we're going to come out with more of these shocks, which they did. Then they came out with more messaging like, hey, we're coming out with these, all the Bad Batch figures, which they did. And they just kept this thing going.
Yeah,
and they realized
the momentum's there.
So I guess part of me is like, I feel like that they've caught on to what the expectations are here for their customers in the US and Europe. So I feel like that there's going to be something similar to last year. And while it's possible, and I'm prepared for it to be like 2021, I feel like it would just be such piss poor marketing if they didn't learn from that mistake. I think that that's the story I'm holding on to, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely makes sense. And, you know, to your point, you know, and I mentioned this the other day, but I was like, that's exactly what happened last April, where we were expecting something around May 4th, but then they dropped a Bespin Luke on us at late April. Well, they just kind of did that again, you know, while obviously is not as prominent as Bespin Luke, but the prospect of this is a new VGM line for Jedi Survivor, and, you know, they dropped that pre, you know, May 4th saying, hey, look, surprise.
And why did they give us that Vader? I mean, to play it safe, if they would have gave us that Vader and that 3PO on May 4th, I don't think a lot of people would have bitched. Not at all.
Not at all. I think, you know,
they gave it early. Why?
Yeah.
They got to have something up their sleeve, dude.
Yeah, they have something better coming up.
Well, that's our initial reaction, right? And with that, I would agree with you, like, where it does give me some hope. You know, I'm not just trying, you know, being a complete naysayer on it, saying, no, we're not going to get shit. But I just feel like that, right? But you are right. I mean, they could have saved 3PO and Vader for May the 4th. Because they didn't, does that, you know, suggest that we have more that they're going to, you know, drop? I mean, what is cooler than Darth Vader?
I think we're getting a Luke. Yoda.
Well, that's subjective, but maybe. But you're right.
I think we're getting Luke.
I think they're going to do another Luke too.
I just do.
Yeah.
I think
I think they're going to drop it on the 4th.
Yeah, I would love the Han though, right? A Han and Chewie.
That would be the bomb.
Yeah.
That I would take that over anything, and I have Han and Chewie, but I would still prefer another Han and Chewie, because again, it would bring balance to the Force, you know, in the market and in the community. And on top of that, I already have like 8 Luke Skywalkers, so you know, it would be cool to have that to go with Return of the Jedi. Honestly, and on top of it, we've got Indiana Jones coming out in a month or so, right? June, I think.
Yeah, yep.
So why wouldn't they not? You know, I know everybody's different and every situation's different, but I mean, they just did this with Natalie Portman. You know, she was in Love and Thunder. And then they got the 20th Attack of the Clones. So they're like, you know what? Look, here you go. Here's your Padme, because now we're making, you know, Lady Thor. We can do this. And, you know, Harrison Ford, I've never heard explicitly that he does not approve his likeness, considering we have 3 Han Solos, the last one being, you know, from The Force Awakens in like 2017. So unless something has changed, I don't see him. I don't think it's like, oh, Harrison Ford's not going to do it, right? Everybody wants money. He wants to promote Indiana Jones. There's a ton of Indiana Jones figures already on the shelves right now. Not Hot Toys, but you know what I'm saying? So that could be an opportunity for us to get another Indy and a Han. Whatever they do, right? Whatever they do with them is good. So
it's a good analogy with Natalie Portman. I could actually see, if we get a new Han Solo, and that's all we got, I would say May 4th is a win.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Just Han by himself?
At this point, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Han and Chewie was not just a 2-pack either. They were also individually packaged. Because I don't own the Han and Chewie 2-pack. I bought a Han Solo and I bought a Chewbacca.
Yeah, me too. That's the same way.
See what I mean? I didn't buy the 2-pack.
Yeah.
So the only difference is the 2-pack has the larger gun. That was it. It's kind of like the Stormtrooper 2-pack, right? Those, you know, you get the exclusive, you know, the gun rack, and the mouse droid. I think it's been a minute, but that's my point. Like there's like one item that's left out if you didn't buy it as a 2-pack, so they could do that. But if they do a 2-pack, though, wow, that's actually interesting, though, isn't it? Like, would they? I don't think they would paywall it behind a 2-pack. I think the reason they paywalled the, obviously Boba Fett, it made sense, right, as a 2-pack, rather than, but even then they gave you individuals. Then you have Nightmare Batman and Superman, but I get why it was paywalled into that, because Nightmare Batman was a Toy Fair exclusive. So in order to kind of, keep some sanity in collectors' minds, being like, oh, well, I still have this one versus, packaging is at a 2-pack. So I think Han and Chewie can come out as a 2-pack and as individuals. I mean, some people may not want a Chewie, or some people may not want a Han. So why just serve breakfast, when you can serve the whole, the whole meal for the day? You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't do. That's how I look at it. So we'll have to see on that.
Songwriter brings up a good point in your chat. He says Hot Toys at least has to do the main characters of Return of the Jedi. I tend to agree with him. Mm-hmm. I don't see how you do Return of the Jedi and not put in the actual Jedi. But I agree with you. I feel like we have a lot of Lukes, and we just got the Mando Luke, but I feel like I'm not terribly overly satisfied with my Endor Luke, and I wouldn't be totally satisfied with my original Luke with the fat suit unless I take it off. So I feel like that they can make that one special. We have to see what it is. But I will just say what Songwriter said there, though, is we did get all the main characters with Attack of the Clones except one. And I don't know why, but I think that it's coming, though. And that's the Obi-Wan. We got all the main characters except Obi-Wan. But I think he's coming. I do really, really believe, and I believe it's going to be announced this year. I think we are going to get that Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. It could be one of the figures on May 4th. I don't know if it'll be in that packaging. I guess they could still do it, but it doesn't have to be. They gave us the Bespin Luke without the Empire packaging, so why not? But I tend to agree with them. I almost feel like you got to have the main characters. You at least got to have Luke. That's what. Well,
they have to. Yeah, they and that's the predicament that we're in right now, right? Because we already have all the main characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're missing Han and Chewie. We have Luke. We have Leia.
It'd be like celebrating Anthony the 40th year of Iron Man 2, and not putting out Iron Man, even though we've got. I mean, yeah,
right. They just give you whiplash again or something. You're like, what the hell?
Which would be cool, but
right. You'd be like, all right, cool, but
where's my good. It better be
Iron
different.
Man?
Yeah, it better be
I
like
agree.
the best.
Well, and the thing nowadays too is I think they're going to follow suit with it, with rolling eyes and USB stuff, and so that's going to be cool. Guys, we're probably going to wrap in about 5 minutes, but I wanted to say, for those who didn't already know, I got a poll going on in the chat. We're already at 174 votes in the chat. I just asked, what do you guys think if we're going to see 2 waves of Return of the Jedi? Yes or no, or we'll probably only get a few figures. 55% of you guys are thinking yes, we will get 2 waves. But 26 say probably only a few figures. But I'll leave the poll up for a couple more minutes and then I'll end it. But yeah, I think that would be really cool though, right? Because I totally get where you're coming from, where it's like, we do need to have main characters, but at the same time, for most of us, like, who have these figures, then what happens? Do we all of a sudden get, like, they can't give us everything we already have, right? Like, they can't give us another Palpatine and then another Royal Guard and then another Luke and then another Boba Fett. Then I'd be like, dude, why do I even have these figures?
I know.
So I was gonna ask that. So coming from that angle, like, what do you guys do if they announce all those? Like, do you guys keep all of yours, or do you sell those?
Depends on the situation. It honestly depends on the situation, dude. If they give me another Emperor Palpatine and he was significantly better, whereas his chair was actually USB rather than batteries, and if that's all they did, no. But if they updated Palpatine a little bit, maybe did some paint apps, gave him some rolling eyes, then probably in conjunction with like a powered chair. Then I could see it because there's enough there for me to be like, okay, that's an upgrade. But if it's just one or the other, that's tough, bro. And Royal Guards, they can't do anything to the Royal Guards. You know, so they're not going to probably drop those. If they do, they're going to be branded as like a reissue or something if they do them. So, and then Luke, I think both Lukes are, well, okay, I'll tell you what, Return of the Jedi Luke could use a 2.0.
Yeah, if it's...
The deluxe is good. Which is not to be confused, guys, with a regular, right? Because there's Return of the Jedi Luke, and then there's Return of the Jedi Luke, new one with a deluxe version, right? So it's not like the first one had a deluxe. The second one had a regular and a deluxe. So I'm talking about the first Luke, right? You know what I'm talking about. The first, just Return of the Jedi Luke. Yeah, he could be 2.0. He, you know, I mean, Christ, dude, his glove doesn't even open. So you know what I mean? It's a closed fist. You can't even hold the lightsaber with that hand.
My personal preference of what they would do is, and if they do this 𝗕𝗏, I would keep especially if they keep it away from being a Endor Forest Luke. I got the Endor Deluxe one, which is pretty cool. But if they can give us a battle damaged Luke Skywalker throne room version, you know, that would go with the Vader that they just put out, the deluxe one, with the whole electrocuting thing, and he has like the black outfit has wear and tear on it. It has all
right,
the
like
white...
to complement it, like a companion piece of sorts. I mean,
that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That I would love if they could do a battle
damage. I would get that then. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to, you know, Denobi told me this once, man, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that if you're going to 2.0 something, it's got to have enough, and I agree with him, that it needs to have enough to it to warrant my dollar, right? So that's what I meant. Like if Palpatine just came with an updated chair with the, you know, USB, that's not enough for me. That's like,
I'll be honest with you. I hope
like
it doesn't come with a chair. So, like, I have Palpatine with the chair. So if they give me one that doesn't have a chair and without that grin like that, but he's more like electrocuting and he has like different looks.
So like another angry face. Well, he's got this weird like shit-eating grin on this one, right?
Yeah.
But see, I almost kind of want a neutral Palpatine, like that evil kind of smug look, right?
But then I wouldn't feel like if we got that Anthony 𝗕𝗏, I wouldn't feel like I'd have to sell my one on the throne. I'd be like, okay, this one's different. And I can just keep the one on the throne.
Granted, I get that too. I'm always kind of weirded out with 6-scale figures that have emotions. If that makes any sense, right? Like, and I talked about this last night a little bit. I think like the Margot Robbie, you know, Suicide Squad Harley Quinn is great. You know, she does have that smile, but it works for her. But then you have somebody like Ant-Man that is just, you know, it's an unsightly sculpt. You know, the one from a couple years ago. Or even Zod. I loved Zod, and I love you know, and I love the actor, but then Zod is always in this screaming emotion for like your entire existence.
Before they fix that,
right. And if they're not going to give us a dual, I mean, obviously we want dual sculpts. We would all love to have 2 sculpts, but that's where I'm only kind of like, damn, if I just had more of a neutral look. I mean, let me look at your Jin. Like that's good for me. You know, I like that. I do kind of like some things with emotion. Don't get me wrong, but it you know, it just depends, is what I mean. But you're right though. Like he could be angry or something. Like he's Force lightning, but then it's very, very specific. You know how you're gonna pose him. Yeah. Like he would look weird sitting in a chair all angry, you know, for example, right? So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Rolling eyes, I mean. That would go a long way if they're able to. They're doing a lot of that lately with these figures, which is cool.
Yeah, it seems to be the new norm almost. In fact, I think we've only had a couple so far that we were like, oh, it didn't have a rolling eye. I forget who it was, but
imagine if we got Han with rolling eyes, dude. Damn.
That's what I'm thinking. And Han is, like I said, it's, you know, Han is different for me because we don't have a Return of the Jedi Han, so I'll get him. But all the stuff we already have, you have to really show me, you know, that this is a 2.0. We've done significant upgrades. You know, similarly, you know how they show off some of the more recent Iron Mans and a couple of the Batmans, right, where they side by side it and they go, hey, look, this is now the proper height. We've widened, you know, the shoulders or whatever. We've changed, you know, we've form fitted the outfit a little bit more, you know, stuff like that. We need to see more of that if you're going to drop it. Don't just give us like a quick reissue, because then I'm not interested.
Let me ask you this. I think I already know the answer, but let me ask you this. Is the 3PO from Return of the Jedi enough of a 2.0 for you from the Attack of the Clones?
Oh, well, yeah, because for me, I think they're completely different.
I agree. But it's the same mold.
It is the same
mold.
I
agree with you. If we could get stuff like that, then I'm cool.
Yeah. But and again, this brings back to our earlier conversation, though, when I mentioned, you know, the R2. The R2 is the same. It's a recast of R2 Deluxe, but it's clearly the Attack of the Clones version. So I don't feel like, you know, because you're not going to go buy the R2. Well, you can't, but you're not going to go on that secondary market and buy an R2 Deluxe, even if he was still at retail, to put him with your Attack of the Clones line, right? When you have an attack, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like, in that respect, yeah, dude, you know, that 3PO is different. It's completely different. So that's okay. What do you think, P-Rock?
No,
you in the same boat?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. 100%.
Well, there you have it, folks.
I agree.
So no, it's cool though, man.
No, because the reason I was curious is like I don't have those figures before. Like I don't have the Emperor. I don't have the ones that you guys have, and that's why I was just real curious. Like I know some people or the collectors that do have them will be upset if they release them, but I was always curious too. Like if they're gonna be if some are gonna be upset, would they still pick up the newer versions also? And that's why I was just curious. Like, you know, if it's,
I wouldn't be upset.
Perfectly. Like if there's a big difference, you will pick it up. If it's a small difference, then.
The only reason I would be upset is if they did like a bunch and they didn't do anything to them. I wouldn't buy them.
I feel like the Fett's going to be the same. I feel like they'll improve the backpack and it won't have those all just the straps. I feel like the magnet will be improved, but maybe the base a little bit. But I do feel like we're going to get some where it's almost the same.
Yeah, of course. It's a business after all, and if it with less, you know, new retooling, the more money they're gonna make. And this is, you know, that's all about the money. At the end of the day, guys, it's all about the money. It always has been. It's not. That's never gonna change. So they're not gonna, because for us, we're like, hell yeah, wouldn't it be cool if they did this and they did that and they did the other? Of course it would be cool, but that's not always the case.
And dude, that Luke from Mando is going to be going out soon. 2 versions already waitlisted. And they know as far as money goes, they make money off Luke. Every time they put a Luke out, it's #1 for 7-8 weeks. It's just so probably we get one. It's just what is it? How is it going to compare to the Mando Luke is the question I have.
I can understand when you guys get upset because I do agree there's other characters that they could release. But it's kind of going back to, like you said, main characters. Emperor is one of the main characters in the Star Wars.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, and look, me personally, I wouldn't be. I'm never upset when Hot Toys puts out a figure. You know, like I don't actually express a negative emotion that affects my everyday life, right? But in the sense that I would prefer moving forward just as a collector, right? You know, and that's fine because I totally understand, you know, especially as Ryan just pointed out that he just got into collecting after all the Return of the Jedi, so anything announced is new and welcome. I'm excited that he's excited, right? Because that's what happens. We get new collectors every day and they've missed, you know, every day a new collector comes into the hobby is another figure that they missed out on, you know, in perpetuity. It just goes on, and the longer, you know, someone comes in 2027 and they're like, holy shit, there's like 800 you know, they don't know, right? So I love that people can get stuff, but as somebody, for me, it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, I might not buy it, but hell, I don't care. I'm happy that other people can get it. So But anyway, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap. It's been fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
Exciting. It'll be an exciting week.
It's gonna be exciting.
We'll see if it's gonna be a bust or not.
Yeah. Well, for the last thing I'll say before we wrap is that, because you and I, Aries, we talked about it earlier, is Wednesday night for us is Thursday morning for Hong Kong. So do you think we'll see drops Wednesday evening our time, or do you think we'll see them Thursday evening?
I do think we're going to see them Wednesday evening, like last year. I do think they're going to try and follow suit. They may play games and not do it at midnight or 1 in the morning, wait till 3 in the morning, wait till the very morning, 8, 9 o'clock, where people are like, oh gosh, man, I can't believe that. Oh, it's woo. So they may play around there, but I think we're going to get it in the same day. But I do agree with P-Rock. It wouldn't shock me if we get a little bit of sprinkle all week. But if we do, because people have been suggesting that to me, that we're going to get sprinkled all week, but we're still going to get the 5 that they've done the last couple of years on May 4th, which tells me maybe we get a lot this week that we don't even realize. Like, I don't know. But I will just say that's what my heart's telling me, is we're going to get a lot this week. But I can say that there is a little part of me that cautions that it may not be as much
as we want.
Think.
Yeah. Well, only because also there's, we mentioned that, we got Jedi Survivor coming. We've got, they announced the 20th Clone Wars. We still have Mando season 3. There's still fucking Andor. Maybe. So, yeah, in that respect.
They'd sell a damn Andor figure, Cassian Andor, whether it's Rogue One or there. So I do think we're going to get it. I actually think the holdup is they want to label it Rogue One in some way or mention Rogue One too. That does.
Well, the Assault Tank Commander's Rogue One brand.
Yeah.
The Short Trooper Grunt was Rogue One brand.
Yep.
Because down to the fucking, I don't think it's on my desk, but it's somewhere around here, the little decals, that all the Rogue One figures come with that go on top of the display base. And they got that weird arced fucking front piece that can slide under the name tag.
Mm-hmm.
That's exclusive to Rogue One, both of those things. And both of those recent figures have the same thing. So, but that would be kind of a dick move, though, to the actor. Right? They're like, well, all right, here's your figure, but we're just going to Rogue One brand it. Because you're like, oh, this is me. This is the name of the show. No, it's Rogue One. Sorry, bud. So, we'll have to see, guys. But anyway, guys, it's been fun. Make sure to hit that like button, man. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, man. We are on the road to 5K. We're almost there. And definitely appreciate everybody's support. And subscribe to P-Rock, my man, down below. And, of course, Aries at 6 Skill Cantina. If you have not, I will update the links in the description as soon as we're done here if you haven't already. But go check them out. Everybody makes some great content. Love you guys all. You guys have a great rest of your night. And we'll see you on the flip side. We're outie. Peace.